Hey guys, what's going on? Chris Hawkes here. This is your Best Life Defined. Thanks for tuning in. I'm over here celebrating me, all into what I'm doing because it's kind of cool. I know I say that and everybody's like, what the hell do you mean you're cool? What are you doing? Well, the sun's out, so we're starting to get out more. We're going to get some mountain biking in. I can't wait till next month. Want to do some kayaking. We're going to go do some hiking. Go back up and see my son in Meeker, Colorado. We're going to do the Devil's Causeway, a few other things. If you watch my Facebook page, you'll see that, or my Facebook feed, I guess the timeline, whatever you want to call it. Life is going good. Life is going good. Hip, hip, hooray for me, right? Hip, hip, hooray for Sandy. This winter, this COVID-19 and being in Colorado for the winter has kind of sucked because we really like being out doing things, and the cold there's a little resistance there. I don't really like being out in the cold. We'll do it. We did some snowshoeing this winter. Did some other stuff, walks in the snow, really great. But you know what? It's all about having fun, about making it fit, right? And this brings us to the conversation of this. Let me ask you a question here. Let's go ahead and get right on this thing. Who is cheering for you? If you haven't picked anything up about this podcast, the one thing you can be sure of is I am into me. I'm the best thing that ever happened to me. I dig me. I love being me. I wouldn't be you because I'm me. That's my cheerleader. That's my motivator to get me going. See, here's the reality. When it comes to change in your life, even when it comes to the life you live, you're not going to find anybody who's going to cheer you. That's why social media is so alluring, I guess. Well, you can find cheerleaders on social media, but what's funny about that is anyone who has achieved immense success on social media, one of the things they'll say is don't pay attention to the likes or the interactions. Don't pay attention to who likes you or how many followers you have. Pay attention to the message. Pay attention to being authentic and legitimate and telling the story like it is and being true to your audience, right? Because that's really what it's about. But you get on social media and you post a post or you take a picture and then everyone applauds it. Guess what? There's probably a good chance that a lot of your friends are applauding it simply because you put the effort in. And in a way, I have to apologize. I've asked people to share my stuff and to like my stuff, and I really appreciate the effort, but it's only because I believe the story has value. There's something here that people can use to live a better life. But we do these average things, and then we want immense applause. And for the most part, depending on the number of people who follow you, you'll get 80 likes, 100 likes. But what is that doing for you? What is that doing in the way of changing your life or bringing you closer to your goals? I'm an advocate of celebrating who we are. I believe that I'm the best thing that ever happened to me. I believe that before anyone should toot my horn, I need to be able to toot it. I need to be able to say, hell yeah, I'm the shit, hell yeah. Because it takes that kind of confidence to face adversity and to be different, right? Who's cheering for you? Who's cheering for you when you wake up in the morning? Who's cheering for you? Who's saying, all right, come on, Chris, get out of bed, let's do this. Yeah, you can do this. I think the biggest waste of time, and even for me, I mean, I don't want you to applaud me and to say, hip, hip, hooray, and show up here because you have an obligation to me. I want you to show up here every day because you have an obligation to you, that you have an obligation to say, you know what, I need to learn something or change a perspective to the point that I can actually achieve my goals. And right now, this guy, he's beating around the bush about it, but he's getting me there, right? I'll do all my own cheering, okay? I don't need you to cheer for me. Thanks. I need you to cheer for you. But what does that take? Uh-oh. We just did a podcast yesterday. I think it was yesterday about focus. Focus on you, right? Focus on you. That's what it takes for you to cheer for you. The reason, if you're not grinding something out of your life where it's just awesome and you have that reward at the end of all your struggle every day, you have that thing you're working towards that you just can't let go of, like that guy climbing Mount Everest, right? If you don't have something in your life that's driving you that way, you're not cheering for you. You're not taking charge of you and saying, hey, Chris, you can do it. Hey, Jim, you can do it, right? You're adapting. You're actually falling into that trap that so many of us fall into, and that is just accept where we are, and as long as it's a little better than somebody, we're champions. Doesn't work that way. Sorry, it doesn't work that way. I wake up every day and I find a reason to celebrate me. Am I kind to other people and do I celebrate other people? Hell yeah, I do. There are a lot of amazing people who show up every day and listen to my bull crap. And sometimes, I mean, not when I say that, I don't mean to demean the content. This story is not going to change. Life is better when you spend more time doing things that inspire you than spending time doing things that suck. And if you want to grind through the things that suck, the ticket is to do a bunch of stuff or have that take you to things that inspire you. It was a lot of work getting rid of that big ass house, 40 plus years of stuff. A lot of work, day in, day out, every day. Get up at 6 o'clock in the morning or out the door at 6 o'clock in the morning, going through crap. A whole lifetime of stuff. You know what motivated us to do that? The idea of being able to do this, the idea of being able to travel around the country and having seen what we've been able to see. I mean, I don't know what the future is going to hold, but let's just say that this is the last year I travel, right? Still got to spend all that time in Florida. Still got to go hang out in Bar Harbor, Maine. Still got to spend time kayaking the Grand River in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Yuma, Arizona, kicking rocks, right? Hip, hip, hooray for me. Pick something you can cheer about. That's the other problem we have is, we have this affinity to get on teams. We want to be a part of something. We want to be a part of something bigger than ourselves. You know why that is? Because chances are there isn't anything going on in your life worth cheering about. What are you getting excited about? What will you get excited about in the next 3 days? Something you're like, oh, hell yeah, I can't wait. Every day at lunch leading up to that moment, you're like, oh man, 2 days, can't wait, right? Got to get to do this. Something you do to the point that your friends say, shut up, I don't want to hear it anymore. That's how it was with me retiring and how it was with me having this conversation about the way my life is now. Because believe me, this conversation about living my best life and specifically about selling my house and living in an RV, this conversation started 5 years before I ever retired. I'm working all the angles. I actually was going to do a sailboat. Crazy, huh? No, my original plan, because I met a guy, he was in the wood shop, he was an inmate, he had like 6 months to do or 9 months for tax evasion or something like that, an older guy, but he introduced me to sailing and he told me, here's a few books you can read and this would really be cool, right? This would be cool. So I start looking at that stuff and I'm like, oh man. Well, I get into it, I get a few books read, and then I realize just how tough it is to be a sailor. A 7-day storm, puking and all that. Nah. Not for me. Not for me, but that was one of the conversations I was having, right? And what it encompassed was I would come home, me and Sandy, we'd have a few drinks, we'd be talking about our plans, it'd get scary, we'd go, oh no, we can do this, oh yeah, it's going to be great, we're going to do this and do that, right? That's the fuel. That's the energy, that's a source of energy for you. That's the inspiration that allows you to get up at 6 in the morning, sort through all that crap, do the unfun stuff so you can get to that dream, right? That's really what it's about. I mean, I'd wake up in the morning, I didn't want to do it. Then I remember, oh, wait, I got this thing going on, the story. Hip, hip, hooray for us. Guess what? We're going to be there. We're almost there. We are there. We are there. Even now, we're getting ready. We're starting to plot our trip up north. We're leaving in May, moving up to the western slope for a while, and then we're going to head out in July, and we're going to be gone until next spring. We're not coming back this way for a long time because we've got this big idea about what we want to do, and more than that, we're celebrating it. Like, oh yeah, can't wait. And now that the warm weather's coming on, the energy levels are just pumping because this is why we chose this life. I spend time in this fifth wheel because the wind's blowing, it's raining. But when the weather's nice and I get my mountain bike out and I get my kayak out and I can just go walk with my wife on the trail, or we can go hiking or just seeing things. Man, it makes it great. Hip, hip, hooray for us, right? Hip, hip, hooray for us. Not that I think I'm doing any better than you. I'm just doing it different, right? Start cheering for yourself. Pick something you can get behind that excites you enough that instead of spending all your time shouting for other people, you're shouting for you, right? You're saying, no, hey, baby, we got this right. We're going to do this. Oh, really? I'm tired of hearing about it. Let's do this. Hip, hip, we're going to be great at it. Is it going to be scary? Hell yeah. Let's do it anyway. Who are you cheering for? Who are you cheering for? There's an ass chewing for you. There it is. And it all comes down to the same steps. Pick it, visualize it, see it in your mind. Wake up excited about it. Have a conversation about it. Work out the bugs. Work through the fears. Assess your skills. What do I need to know to be a sailor? What do I need to know to be an RVer, right? What do I need to know to go back to nursing school? Enhance that skill set. Remove the obstacles. Remove the things out of the way that are keeping you from doing it. It's like shoveling dirt. You got a pile of dirt there. Guess how you get rid of that pile of dirt? One shovel at a time. Eat an elephant, one bite at a time. That's how you eat an elephant, the same way. And when you build a story that's so connected to who you are, it's easy to find the motivation to say, this isn't a choice, this is a have to. This is what I will do every day because the goal, the thing I see in the future is so amazing, I am inspired. This skill, this thing in my way, this thing I still have to do, it isn't nothing. Look where I am, an example, a prime example is this right here. Look where I'm at. 344 podcasts, right? 344 consecutive podcasts. When 344 podcasts ago, I wasn't a podcaster. I was just a guy with a microphone, a computer, and an idea. And there I am. Hip, hip, hooray, Chris. I remember talking to my son in the early days. I was like, damn, I'm getting good. I'm getting it, son. It's getting good now, man. It's getting good, right? Whatever it takes. Whatever it takes for you to motivate yourself to wake up and say, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. It's your story. You tell it, right? First thing you need to do is you need to learn to cheer for yourself. You need to stand up and say, I'm the best. I am awesome. I am amazing. And the thing that I'm going to do is going to happen, and I believe it. It doesn't matter who stands behind you or who doesn't. The point is that you are responsible for your destiny. You are responsible for where your life ends up in the next 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. You are responsible if you end up at the end of your life and you're looking back and you're going, God, why didn't I do that? Why didn't I follow his advice? And the struggle we face is that's where it heads. That's where it's going for all of us. Think back how quickly the last 5 years, how quickly 1 year ago, March, we were struggling, COVID-19, woo. Do you realize the people who are successful, the people who wake up today with their life in a better position than it was last March did so because they weren't afraid to be their own cheerleader? They weren't standing around looking for other people to tell them their ideas were great. They said, you know what, I got a great idea. Oh, yeah, I do too. I'm going to be a podcaster. Great idea. Wow. I'm going to be great at it too, right? You look back now and you go, guess what? Listen, I'm going to make an offer to you here. Listen, if you want to contact me, if you want to message me on the podcast or on the YouTube channel, say, hey, give me a call or share an email, Facebook, the same way you can message me, I would be more than happy to get you lined out on how you can take the steps to accomplish anything you want in your life. I guarantee it. If you follow the steps, I guarantee you will wake up one day and you'll say, wow, I did that. And what's cool about that is once you get that win and you understand the recipe for success, you don't have to rely on my help anymore. You can do it with anything you choose in your life. And that's really where this is going. It took me a while. It's taken me a while to come to that. But basically, I think that is where I can do the most good, is by helping you help yourself. And what that comes down to is the reason you're not where you want to be is because you lack the tools to incorporate that consistency in your life that brings you to your goals. And that's what I want to give you. So, hey, give me a shout out. If you're ready to change something in your life, I am here for you. I show up every day because of you and because of me, and because, you know what, the only thing we have in life is the impact we have on those around us. That's what we will be remembered for. And hopefully you will remember me long after I'm gone. And more than that, I hope this helps. So, hey, listen, I appreciate it. Let's not forget about the kindness. And as always, just remember, today's your day. Make it a good one.